So we're back with part 2 of the Hoodoo Baddie featuring Alexis Jade, spiritual advisor. Yeah, she was asking me before I press record how my day was, and I said interesting. What does interesting say to you when somebody says something like other than "oh, it was good"? What does interesting say to you?
So I'm a Sagittarius. We talked about this yesterday. So I'm naturally sarcastic as fuck. So if someone asks me something or if I'm observing something and I say interesting, that's my nice way of saying like something was completely fucked up or it was shitty or like it wasn't good. That's like me reserving my negative energy for another day. So I'm going to choose my words wisely and I'm just going to settle for interesting. So that's what I thought you were giving me. So that's what I was like, well, shit, like what happened? We got a story time. Like, did something happen? But I think your verbiage is a little different. Like when you say interesting, you literally mean interesting, like something interesting happened.
No, I'm lying. You were right. You nailed it. You
You know
nailed it. That was
what?
so
What
good.
you're not gonna do, you ain't gonna don't be testing
I
my
am
next
gonna do it again and again. But yeah, like
one.
that's all I can say. I'm gonna reserve. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I am here. Life is good.
yeah. Life is great.
You know, I was talking to my son's barber last night, and he was like, "Oh, I got to pay these bills, but life is good." And I was like, "Yo, you remember when you couldn't pay
Yeah.
those bills? Sometimes you got to realize, like, yo, you are blessed. Bro, I remember times when I did not know what to do. Now I just be like, damn, I got to do something. Completely
Yeah.
different experience and place in life. And so I'm happy to be in a place where it's like, my daughter and my fiance got together
Mhm.
to book a cottage in the woods for
Okay.
Christmas. They
How
want all
beautiful.
the family to go away for the cottage. They sent me the bill. The bill was 44. The bill was $4,400 for the cottage.
For how many nights?
3 nights.
Okay. And it's how many bedrooms?
7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you have to think they also want gifts.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 25.
Yeah.
And my fiance is a grown woman.
Yeah.
And then my twin sons are coming. Her 2
Mhm.
daughters are coming. All these people want gifts. So how much is Christmas worth to you? How much do you spend for Christmas? Because spending $13,000 for Christmas going into the first quarter of the new year
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not spending 13,000. Let's start there. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I have one kid. One. He's 8. He'll be 9 on December 2nd. He's born 2 days after me. That's my little Sag. So all of my money goes towards him, really.
Yeah.
So he's going to Mexico for birthday because he wanted to do a trip. He's still gonna get gifts and stuff that he's not gonna open. Everybody who knows me, DJ does not open his gifts. He appreciates them and he loves them, but they will sit there unopened and not played with. As far as like toys and stuff goes, he's into like the gaming.
Mhm.
So we'll definitely get him some games. Definitely some new clothes, new drip. That's literally on the way. But Christmas wise, it's up in the air because I did propose another trip, or we can go with tangible gifts. So we're now in the space where I'm trying to kind of expose him to the idea of like experience versus tangible gifts, or we can
Mhm.
do a mix of both. But yeah, he's the only person that I'm really responsible for. Other than that, when it comes to my family, my mom will be getting something and my sister. That's it. That's it.
Is
I'm
this
not
new
doing all the other
experience?
stuff.
Is this new experience versus tangible gifting? Is that like one of this generation, wide generation Y2K. Is this y'all new thing?
I think that yes, I think that our generation has awakened to the luxury of travel, and I use the word luxury loosely because luxury to me is not there's no ticket price on luxury. It's really not about cost, it's about experience. Luxury to me is about experience, and it's about leisure and being able to do what the fuck you want. So when you go on a trip, you're not stressed, and you can eat better, you'll experience better. Typically where you're going, the weather is better. You know what I mean? Like that to me is luxury. It's about experience, culture. So something that I've always wanted to do, and I said this like since the day that he was born, was I want to be able to expose him to a different type of lifestyle. Like me as, and not to get too much into astrology, but me as a Sagittarius, it is like encoded in my veins. I have to move, I have to travel, I have to move my feet. Like when my life gets too stagnant, I get complacent, and it doesn't feel good. I have to switch it up. And I also like to learn new things, and I like to be exposed to culture, language, food. How do you experience that? You got to pack your bags and get the fuck up. So I want that for my son too. So, every year it was a tradition that, his grandma, she would take her grandkids to Disney World. She packs them up, she takes them to Orlando, and they're gone for like 5 to 7 days. That's like a thing. So my son is totally okay with getting on a plane and going somewhere. And now he's learning how to do the cruise life. So I think just me personally, I find it important to expose him to other people, other cultures, so that one day, he's able to relate to people. I think that's important. It's a great people skill.
That's dope. I'm listening to all of these things. I love. Are you a single mom?
I am single, and let's not. I don't know, but we single.
Single and let's not. Okay.
Because I was like, I was gonna say looking, but I'm like, this is actually gonna air somewhere, and I don't want to invite the wrong energy. So I'm just single. That's all I got for you. I'm single.
I think we have really great energy on the show. I think our listenership is unique. I think our listenership is very unique. Because we talk about sex, men speaking about sex isn't something that invites the crazies, not the niggas. Niggas don't want to hear. Then we are very open with the LGBT community.
Yeah, I love that.
So that also gets rid of a lot of the
closed-minded and ignorant. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to want to listen to this show, I've created a really great community of positive, pushing the narrative forward, pushing the community, the culture forward. And I'm very proud of that. So yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful. And it just shows, it starts at the top, right? The head. And your intention is very loud. Because I do believe that, you do attract what you're putting out. So your intention is very loud. Like if you've been able to really tailor the type of audience that you want to attract, it sounds like you're doing a really good job at that. So yeah,
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna ask you in relation to your son, now we have a bunch of, I remember everything we spoke about yesterday, which is rare because my ADHD, I be forgetting everything. But I do remember everything that we spoke about yesterday. But I'm speaking about you being a mom. Is the father around at all? Is he in?
Yeah, we co-parent. We co-parent. We co-parent. We co-parent. Yeah, and I know he's gonna be watching this because he clocks everything. So baby, he gonna tune in.
Yeah, so funny. Well, baby daddy, listen here. I am a baby father. And my fiance also has 2 baby fathers. So trust me, I understand your experience, and I also understand the children's mother's experience. So no shade from me. I just thought it was funny, and I'm pretty sure he thought it was funny when you was like, "What did you say?" He's like, "Yeah, we co-parent. We co-parent." I was like, that was it was layered in there. But we
But
all
you
have
know
our
what?
experiences. We all have.
It's a double entendre there because we're not the, and I don't want to say typical, we're not the stereotypical baby mama, baby daddy situation. There's no back and forth as far as like we're off and on again. We have like unfinished business. Sometimes we're dating, sometimes we're not. I create conflicts with the women that he's dating. It's none of that.
Yeah, but I think
We have some
is there?
strong boundaries, and I'm really happy and like almost like proud of that because we came a long way. But yeah, like it's not that when I say like co-parents, like we really like it's co-parenting. Like there's really no conversation outside of like our child. You know what I mean? But also there's also the element of like, why are you sending me my tweets? Like, why would you even hear it? Because you blocked. Now clock that. So there's also some of those things where I'm like, okay, you still be watching, don't do that. And I think it's just curiosity of like not knowing what's going on in my world maybe, and being curious, like, who is this person? Because I've evolved so much since we were dating. You got to understand, my son is almost a decade old. You can change 5 times. You can create yourself a million times over again. So I think there's just like maybe a curiosity there of like, who is this person? You know what I mean? Or like, what's all the talk about?
Your Twitter is pretty dope.
Thank you.
I enjoy watching your tweets. Your Twitter is pretty interesting. So for those out there who don't know, Alexis Jade, I think it is Jupiter GRL_. Yeah, go over there and follow her on Twitter. She's fun. She's a good time. Not too much of that the norm. You know what I mean? She has her own stratosphere that she revolves in. Okay. We were talking about chakras yesterday.
Yes.
We got down to the throat chakra. Sorry, I didn't mean to do all that just now.
Okay.
Throat is one of those words though, man. Throat is in there with moist now to me.
Please.
You can't say these words without me thinking about sex. Like you can't. Unless it's like I have a sore throat. Then it's like, you ruined it with the sore.
See, I don't know. I guess I'm different because like I like to cook. So literally like I'll describe the food and I'll be like, yeah, the cake was really moist. And I'm not even trying to be funny. So then it's like, I think like my vocabulary, maybe I should change that. Like we'll swap
What are
that.
other words then? If it's not moist and it's not throat, what are words that are said that you can say or somebody can say and you immediately think about sex?
That's a good one. A word that makes me think about sex. Obviously come. So like
Come?
yeah, like come. Like
I'm okay.
yeah, I'm about to come. Or like, okay, let's maybe say I'm on my way. I'm on the way. Like, you know what I mean? Because I literally sent a text out that said, okay, come so you can come, pun intended. So the way that I use that word may be a little different. So I'm intentional with that word. I try not to use that word unless it's intended for that. You know what I mean?
Is there a non-sexual way to use girth?
Actually, yes. So in music, I use that to describe an artist, their vocal capabilities. Like some artists, they have a thick ass voice. Like if you think of like Toni Braxton, her voice has a lot of girth to it, and it has like the umph. Like it's not necessarily like power. It sounds like thick, raspy, and it has so much like tone to it versus like something that's more lighthearted. Like I listen to the classics, the oldies too, like Minnie Rippington. It's very light and airy. You know what I mean? Like I'm a real music junkie, but yes, I use that word for music or to describe a beautiful penis.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I knocked you off your. You're still there, didn't I? Yeah.
Thick is another word.
Okay.
It's in there. It's not all the time, but when you said Toni Braxton has a thick voice, I immediately thought. But maybe I think about sex too much. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You know what was interesting about my day? Part of the interesting part of my day, I was with a Hispanic person today.
Okay.
Them niggas is too horny. Like, there's no reason. Okay, if you notice a woman, why do you have to be like, yo, look, her, look, oh my God, look. It's like, bro.
It's a machismo culture. It's when they're younger, their dads and their uncles teach them to be like that, to objectify women. So it is a cultural thing, and that's why it shows up very loudly when they're adults. Because I've been around niggas who are just as thirsty, you know what I mean? But also, it's like a way. I feel like black men, they're also raised to have a little more pride when it comes to like don't be too thirsty. But I feel like it's like that machismo, like like from the gate, as soon as they hop off the porch, they're supposed to be chasing skirts, you know what I mean? Like that's
All day for 7 hours. He had to look and point at everyone. And my thing is this: women, unfortunately, are used to being objectified. They're used to men being shitty people. They're used to men looking at their crotch, saying good morning, hey, sexy, why don't you smile? They're used to all of this, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, and I know that because of these conversations that I have. I don't want to be that guy. But now when you're with somebody who's that guy, you're that guy. And I don't really have a relationship with him enough to, and he has me, he has he's in a position of power. So it's like uncomfortable for me just meeting him to be like, yo, why you gotta look at every chick? Like, if that's my homie, I'll be like, yo, my nigga, are you good? Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody I know, and then I know that it was kind of uncomfortable. So I was just like, let me just, because I'm not gonna be around him much. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. You know what? I know exactly what you mean, because it's actually like the same thing as when we're out, like a group of girls, and you have the one girl that's they're like really thirsty for male attention. So they're kind of like all in their faces. They're twerking when it's not appropriate times to be twerking. They're like making like inappropriate sex jokes. And it's like, girl, we was talking about cooking. Like, pass the peas. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just trying to eat. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people where that's kind of all they know. That's all they know. They don't really have good conversation skills. They don't understand human connection outside of that. And they really see the opposite sex as that option, like that object. You know what I mean? So women do it too. And it is uncomfortable. It makes everyone feel uncomfortable. And I typically find that people who act like that in those types of settings, they really can't read the room. They're not good at reading other people's, bodily responses and bodily cues of like, hey,
that's uncomfortable.
The hose. Stop. Because women scare the hose too. And men definitely scare the hose. And I say hoe is definitely unisex around here, and so is bitch. Okay? Yeah, clock that T. But it's like you're making people uncomfortable, and it's not giving the vibes that you think it is. Stop, sit down, be quiet.
Speaking about it though, it kind of makes me feel like I'm supposed to say something.
I mean, ideally speaking, yes. That would.
Now, and I'm in this situation. He isn't actively approaching anybody.
Got it.
Where is my level of responsibility for his behavior, or for at least alerting him that, yo, you're making women uncomfortable with the stares and if not, you're making me uncomfortable. Like, what am I supposed to do? Especially, bro, I don't know this guy like that. I literally met him last week. And I'm like, if I get on his bad side, it can hurt me in my career. So what is my level of responsibility here?
Your level of responsibility is to yourself. Anytime somebody's making you feel uncomfortable, you should automatically speak up. That's where boundaries come into place. So the moment you said that it was making you feel a little awkward, you definitely owe it to yourself to say something. Now, there's a way to deal with people and get them to produce or to do what you want them to do without actually giving them the instructions, right? So redirect the conversation, simply navigate it elsewhere. Ask him a question that takes his mind to something else. You know what I mean? And not to place him in the place of a child, but it's kind of like when kids are like unfocused and the teacher's like, hey, so blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's like snap out of it. Like they're in hypnosis mode and you're like, hello, wake up. You're doing too much. I don't like that. So stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because some people,
You
they're
do that
not.
with women?
What's that?
You were talking about body cues and stuff like that, but do you
Yeah.
actively say, yo, can you stop pouring yourself out for attention? Do you say that to me?
No, those are fighting words. Now, if I do that, I'm prepared to swing. You know, I'll tussle a little bit, but no, no, that's not something I would say. Because the other thing too is I'm not looking to embarrass anybody either. Like it doesn't serve me any better to make you the bad guy, and especially in like group settings, your situation is a little different. But if it's a group setting, I'm not trying to look to embarrass you either. I might just again redirect the conversation. I'm really good at getting people to do what I want them to do. And I learned this from like people management skills. So giving people things to do. Give them a task. You distract people. Like when your friend is embarrassing themselves in a public setting, they've had too much to drink and they're doing a little too much, you navigate them away from the group that maybe they're making uncomfortable. Hey, so we're actually gonna work on this. And you give them something to do in the kitchen. Hey, so I want you to actually lead the game. We're gonna play a card game. Like, go ahead, read the instructions on the box. Like, give them an assignment, give them a task to take their mind off of the weird shit that they have going on and gently place them in another space where now they're not so focused on everything else, but they're still getting that attention that they're looking for. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. They're crying out for attention 9 times out of 10. Now, in your situation, I think that he has no people skills. He didn't know what to talk about with you. So in that case, you lead with that. 2 very masculine men are in a vehicle together or in a public setting, wherever you guys are, and he has no people skills. He doesn't know how to talk to people. Like, that's what that is. So the only thing he knows how to talk about is women. So in your case, you lead the conversation, redirect it. All he has to do is answer your question. So, what do you think about this? Sports, men love sports. What do you think about that? Like, just talk to him and redirect his thought process and get him out of skirt zone, and sexual Disneyland and bring him back home.
If it's cultural, how do you do that? I don't think that you can just talk your way out of him having that bug.
The default is cultural, but it's human nature to use conversation as almost like a tennis match. If I ask you a question, you're naturally going to respond. And then if I give you another question, you're naturally going to respond. The same way you're interviewing me, interview him, except it's not, necessarily the end product is like for a platform. It's just a normal standard conversation. You have excellent people skills. Treat every conversation as an opportunity to maybe learn something new about that person, and he's not doing that. So now you take that leadership role in that conversation by default, and you lead it so that he doesn't even have the chance to point out homegirl over here or this one over there. His eyes might wander, but he won't have as much time to talk about it.
Okay. But I don't have to address it directly. I just have to.
You don't have to unless you plan to swing.
Okay.
Not everything has to be so spicy. I'm very spicy. I reserve that energy for when it's warranted, because I'm not very excited about having to say, oh my God, my bad, I shouldn't have said that. I don't like saying that. I don't like doing that. I don't like having to recant. So typically when I say things that are spicy, I put thought into it and I meant what the fuck I said. So I reserve that energy for real situations where it's called for. Something like that, it's mild. Just redirect the conversation. He'll be fine.
I am inadvertently spicy, I think. I'm a little too blunt, I believe. I think, I already said ADHD, but my co-host one day we were in the car and she was like, yeah, you're neurodivergent. You're like, you have a little autism. And my other co-host was like, you just call him, did you just say he has special needs? She was like, yeah, he's definitely special needs, because him needing to blurt out whatever comes to mind without thinking of the environment, without thinking about anything, that's a sign of neurodivergence. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of how his brain works. Do you agree?
You know what's funny? I haven't been properly diagnosed, but I took a test online for ADHD, and baby, the scores was high as hell. They shot through the roof. You know what I mean? And I took it because I noticed I do things. Sometimes I'll interrupt someone when they're speaking prematurely, and it's because my brain is thinking faster than my mouth, and I don't want to lose my thought. It's not because I think what I have to say is more important. It's like this, you know what I mean? Or I'll get excited after someone says something, and the conversation will bounce quite quickly, rapidly. Sometimes ADHD, did I say that right? ADHD?
ADHD, yeah.
Yes. Sometimes it shows up as, a loss of productivity because you have so many tabs open in your brain, so many things.
Have so many tabs open. Oh my God.
You have so many tabs open, and you're trying to prioritize, what do I need to do first, that you enter into like a moment of stagnation where you're not really doing anything. You're just mentally scrambling. And then like an hour goes by and you're like, oh shit, I didn't start.
It's that thing, you're buffering. It's that circle. You're just stuck in that circle.
Buffering. Literally. And it's because you have all the things and your brain is like trying to sort everything, and it starts to feel overwhelming. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people are neurodivergent and they're not maybe being diagnosed. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. Being neurodivergent doesn't mean that you have a lack of intelligence. It means that your brain is operating on high power mode at all times. That's how I see it. Like your brain is just functioning a little differently than standard mode. You're special. That's all.
I am definitely special. And I just realized that I've done it at least 2 or 3 times in this conversation. My brain is just like, because I want to get back to the chakras. Yes. I literally said, I started thinking about it, and somehow 15, 20 minutes later, we're now here on ADHD. But I do want to know all right, so we talked about your crown chakra. We've spoken about I know it was your third eye chakra, but is that the name of it? And we got to throat chakra.
Yep.
What is the next one?
Your heart.
Your heart chakra?
Well, yes. How do you expect to love and to receive love? Of course, there's a heart chakra. That's the one that everybody's scared of.
I always have a thing. I don't like the heart being related to love.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like kind of very Disney or Mickey Mouse, because it's definitely your brain. Your brain is doing all of that. There's nothing in your chest. The worst, when I feel love at? If it's going to come to my body, in my stomach. Like I feel more emotions in my gut than I feel in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? So I've kind of gotten away.
Only because when something really hurts my feelings, I feel it in my chest. My chest literally feels heavy. Now it could be that person has triggered some type of anxiety, and that's why I'm feeling that. But I do feel it in my chest sometimes. Now when I feel like the flutters, I feel it all throughout my body like electricity. Really, it's a different type of feeling. But your heart chakra rules empathy, your ability to love and receive love. And it rules, I would say, even like, aspects of the feminine energy, not all of it, because we'll get into sacral chakra. But, in order to really be tapped in with your feminine energy, we all have both masculine and feminine energy. Your heart does need to be open. And in order to manifest or become a magnet to the things that you desire, you need to be in your feminine energy. So everything is connected. But yes, the heart chakra rules our ability to really connect with other people, but also with ourselves. And it also rules something that I think a lot of adults struggle with is forgiveness. Children forgive all the time. That's very easy for them. It becomes very natural. It's the adults, it's us, where it becomes a little difficult. But that's a very important chakra. It's probably the one that I find is the most blocked, where people are not, and most of the time it's not what you think, where they're not willing to give it. A lot of people are willing to give it. They don't know how to receive it. Or when they are on the receiving end, they do things to, sabotage it or to block it. Or they maybe have a detached way of showing up, you know what I mean, in their relationships and connections. So
I have seen this in women, but I've more so seen it in men.
okay.
I've seen this in women, and sometimes it's not even in their relationship to men. I've seen it in a friend group where they just can't believe that they're loved or accepted. They always like, there's always a conflict that is just not handled with love or in a trusting manner. It's like, why don't you trust your friends?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they mean the best. I'm definitely one that would be able to read bad energy. It seems like this is emanating from you and your distrust of their intentions or whatever, which could come from trauma, obviously, whatever. But I've also seen this in men in relation to women. Not so much in relation to men, though. I don't think. I would have to really think about that. But definitely not trusting women's intentions. Definitely not trusting women's like what they're coming with. Like super testing all the time, always testing, staying vulnerable, staying closed off, compartmentalizing love, sex, relation, dating. Like there's a lot of like, nope, I'm just going, she's right here. Nope, I'm over here. Is that what you're talking about? Not being able to open up the heart chakra to people? Hello? Are you stuck? You're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm here. Can you see
Okay,
me?
no.
I'm
You were stuck
here.
for a second, but it was a good
I'm
stuck.
here.
It was a good stuck. You didn't have a bad face on.
Okay. I'm like, let me do a robot. Can you see me? Can you see me? You see
Yeah,
me?
I see.
Okay, I'm here. No, but yes, that is the way it can show up. And where that you said something that that stood out to me. You said, well, I feel like they have good intentions. Like that shows that you trust yourself, your ability to read people's energy and read people properly. So I always tell my clients, I tell them, it's not about trusting other people, it's about trusting yourself. You don't trust yourself. That means that, in the past, you've made poor decisions on some of the people that you've allowed into your space, and you have not yet forgiven yourself for those said poor choices. Meaning, whether it's a nasty friend group that was stabbing you in the back, maybe your first bully was your mom, and you think that every girl, every feminine energy is mirroring how your mom maybe treated you when you were younger. You haven't forgiven her, but it boils down to not trusting yourself. You don't trust your ability to read people properly because you're still hanging on to that one time where you misread that person and you promised yourself you would never do it again because you didn't want to experience that pain again. You didn't want to experience that betrayal of feeling like that rug got pulled from under your feet, when it's like there's a gotcha moment and you're like, well, damn, I thought we was cool. It doesn't feel good. But here's the thing. When you go through situations and you don't look at them as happening to you, but happening for you, for your betterment, for your growth, for character building, right? Seeing it as a lesson and not just like an isolated situation that was unpleasant. Look at that person as a lesson, not the girl that was mean to you. And when you shift into that mindset, you go into every experience where you have the energy of like trust but verify. Like, I'm going into this with good intentions. I know I got good intentions. So I'm not looking at everybody else like, oh, she was shady. You think like that because maybe you're fucking shady, or maybe because you just really don't trust yourself at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And the minute it starts to look shady, that's when we got to verify. We need some verification. You know what I mean? When you go in and you go to chat, you go into cash a big check in the bank. They are not going to tell you, hey, that's a lot of money. I don't think this is yours. No, they're just going to verify. They're going to hold that check for a few business days and they're going to verify some shit. They're going to make sure that the check, the issuer of the check really sent that money. They're going to make sure that your ID matches up with the person on the account. They're going to verify some shit. They're not going to turn you down. They're not going to tell you we don't accept this money.
Yo,
it's the same shit.
You just use one of my favorite analogies when it comes to relationship equity.
Yeah.
I've said I should have built enough credit for trust in this type of situation. Like I believe I have performed enough in your life, related, communicated, whatever, enough for when this situation came up where there was some type of insurity or some type of you would have said no. I believe positively about his intention first. There should have been some credit built in the way that we've related to each other, because if that, I can't have gone 3 years of dealing with you and not having built any positive relationship equity. Like, that's the problem. To me, we're not building together like the way we should be.
Yeah.
If there's no credit there, like you buy a house, you pay it off for 3 years, there's equity. There's equity. Why isn't that here in this relationship? That's a problem. We're not working. I don't know. This isn't working if I'm still in a negative after 3 years. I've said that. That's what I'm saying. Unless I've done things, right? I've took out a mortgage on top of a second mortgage. I've hurt you, like hurt your trust. Right? That's me going back to the mortgage thing, right? I've hurt your trust. I've cheated. I've lied. I've been abusive. Whatever it may be, which has now put me into the negative. But if you don't have any of that, I'm always being communicative. I'm always showing up. There should be credit here. So that's all. That was my thing with you. I really related to you when you said that.
You sound like somebody that's going to be watching this, because that's what they be saying. Like, that's why I was smiling. I was like,
Are we talking about your son's father?
No. Delete. No, we ain't talking about him. No, we're talking about someone else. But,
why haven't they built equity, credit?
Literally, he just plays too much. Like, he's not consistent. He'll go through phases of consistency, and things are like on the up and up and looking great and wonderful. And then he'll kind of like pull his energy back. And I think it has to do with emotional availability on his end. But he hasn't done anything, like you said, to really like trigger something directly. It's more so like in the past, when people were moving, it turns out they were moving shady. They did show up inconsistent first. It's like the precursor before that type of, behavior shows up. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with it, where it's like, well, I'm trying to make sure you're not gonna phase into some of the bullshit. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a wonderful guy. He checks all the boxes in all the other areas.
Well, wonderful guy. It's now the ball's in your court, because she is on a podcast, a show that is international. She's already said that she's single and somewhat looking, but now she's named you as the wonderful guy who is inconsistent. So if you're watching, the ball is in your court. Okay, because I've said her @name on Twitter, her @name on Instagram is official Alexis Jade. Hey, it's out of my hands. It's in yours. All right. By the way, her son's going away December 2nd or 3rd, so it would be a great time to plan a trip or some type of weekend getaway.
Hey, hold
on.
Right,
sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. Okay.
Wow. You gotta watch your ass.
Okay, so we got to the heart chakra. What
Yes.
what other chakras are there? Is there like a knee chakra?
Please. No, there's no knee chakra.
Is there a
No,
penis
but you have
chakra?
the solar plexus. A what chakra?
Is there a penis chakra?
I mean, well, yeah, but it's not called that. We'll get there. I'm gonna give you what you want. I promise you. We're gonna get there. But let's get through the other stuff. There's the solar plexus
That was
chakra.
sexual, by the way.
What is that?
That was sexual.
This?
I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm just saying. Remember we were talking about things.
What I said.
There's no way you're saying that in a conversation, and my brain doesn't. Especially if we're like, whatever. There's no way. I'm gonna be like, is that right?
Okay,
I'll give you what you want.
I meant like what you want to hear. Like I'm like,
right.
You know. But I'll give you that.
No, sure. Yeah, whatever you say.
Okay. All right. You got that. Solar plexus. You know, this is our confidence. I am, I can, I will. Like when you need to feel your most powerful self, and you need to have willpower, right? To break toxic cycles, toxic habits. The solar plexus is how you get things done. It's very action oriented. I would say this is a very masculine energy to be in because it's like doing and less resting. This is the energy of, you know, this is the energy I tap into before I go into like presenting, right? Or public speaking. If I'm going to interview somewhere, before I go and I see my clients, I need to feel my most confident self before I talk to you about your confidence. You know what I mean? So that's a chakra that I find that people are constantly having to tap into and strengthen, just because the way that society is built, I feel like we're constantly being knocked down a peg. Knocked down a peg. No.
There you go. Come on now. I'm here with you.
I'm
I
sorry.
ain't even had to say it. You know what's going on.
That was raunchy. But, you know, like society will take you there. Society will like really strip you of your confidence. And the internet is terrible. Yeah. The internet will have you thinking you're snag-a-tooth, bald head, ain't got no edges. And you ain't worth a damn if you let it. You know what I mean? So I find that the solar plexus is something that we should always be strengthening and working on and working towards, because there's always going to be something that maybe makes you feel defeated. It could be a loss of a job. It could be a loss of a relationship, friendship. Things are always going to affect your confidence. So just stay on your P's and Q's with that one. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely feel like that. So it's called the soul. Why is that one less sexy?
The solar plexus
chakra? Is that what it's called?
What were you looking for? What did you want to give me a name?
Like the rest of the crown chakra, the throat, even the third eye is like, it's kind of like mysterious. It's like, ooh. The solar plexus is like, it just sounds like gas. I don't know. It just it sounds. It just sounds like a wrestling move. I don't know.
Please. Right. So what would you name it? What would create a name for it? I'm interested. I want to hear this. If you had a name for the solar plexus, what would it be?
Is it the solar plexus chakra? Is that what the name of it right now? That's what we're going with? That's what
solar, like the sun, and plexus.
Your spine chakra. No, the spine isn't a sexy word either. Your soul chakra. Is there a soul chakra already? But it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit to soul chakra. Your power chakra.
There's no
your power
soul chakra.
Your power chakra. How about that?
I like. There you go. Let's do it, because the solar plexus is like the powerhouse. It's the mitochondria of the spiritual body. Yes.
Right. That's your power. It's like it's your center.
I'm
your core. Your core chakra, your power chakra, like in there somewhere where it's kind of, it still feels like we're in the. Come on now. I'm hoodooing. I'm trying to hoodoo. We got to find out what hoodoo is yet too. Come on. All right, come on. More chakras. More chakras. Hello?
Well, this is Reiki. We haven't even tapped into hoodoo yet.
I
So
know. I know. We're gonna get
yeah.
there. Well, hopefully. I know we only have a little bit amount of time left. So come on, more chakras. All
Yeah.
right. You know what? How many more chakras are there?
We have sacral. Oh, we only have two more. So sacral, this is what you wanted. This is what you've been waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
This is the creative chakra, the womb, the male phallus,
Yeah.
right? Inner. These are the chakras that were aligning when you had that couple on your show and they was hooting and hollering and he's tapping her back. He was tapping that
Yeah.
sacral chakra, okay? And she was
Mm-hmm.
and doing all the things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How she was
I
doing
mean,
it. They was doing the breathing.
that
They
was
was
dope.
doing. It was. I mean, it was theatrical.
That was
It
so
was great.
great.
It was great TV. But the sacral chakra, it rules pleasure. Right now, we automatically think sex when we think of sacral chakra. The sacral chakra can be overindulgence in whatever you want it to be. It's very much so like do as you please. It can be giving yourself that glass of wine at the end of the week. You did a very good job, during your work week. Have a glass of wine. Cook yourself your favorite meal. Taking yourself to the spa. Practicing some self-care. Running yourself a nice warm bubble bath. Like that's very much so sacral chakra energy as well. And then sacral energy is definitely sitting down and writing a song, taking up piano lessons. It's exercising any energy of creativity or pleasure. And then it's also connecting with yourself, your own body, or connecting with someone else. It's the energy of creating life. You know what I mean? When we get into like pregnancy and things like that. So that is the sacral chakra. It it's a very important chakra because you cannot manifest when that chakra is not in good health. The energy of creativity is literally how you bring your ideas into material, the material world. So that is how you bring thoughts into matter and into fruition. So that chakra is definitely something that we should
How do,
always be exercising and making
how do you
sure
exercise it? How do you center it? How do you get stronger at this chakra?
doing the things you need to do the things, carving away time for the things, right? If you consider yourself artistic, get your ass a coloring book. You ain't too old. Get an adult coloring book and let your inner child play, right? If you feel like you've been restricting yourself of things, right? You need to allow yourself a little indulgence. For people who like to diet, or they're really heavy in the gym, or whatever you're doing to the extreme and it becomes like it's not enjoyable, that means that our sacral is not being honored, right? Allow a little fulfillment and enjoyment into your life. When you feel like you need that, you might need to send that you up text, okay? Or if that person's maybe not good for you, if you don't want to deal with them, you might need to pull the rose out. Go ahead and get little Rosie. Make sure she charged up.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise the chakra. That's all you have to do. It will remain in good health. Now, when is it overactive? When we overindulge and we take it too far. What
What
does
is
that look like?
like? How much masturbation is overindulging to you?
When you are relying on other things maybe to achieve orgasm, you doing too much. Like
Like watching porn?
yes, like when you start creating other sub addictions, we maybe are doing it a little too often. The other thing is it becomes automatic, almost like it's not as enjoyable. You're not getting like that like extreme rush of adrenaline that you should feel, or even and it just feels like, oh, okay, I needed that. And then also energy wise, when you start to feel like almost drained immediately after, maybe we're doing it a little too much. You should really feel revitalized when you do it right. You know what I mean? So when you're depleting your life force, That is your life force. When you're cleaning it a little too much and it's time to dial it the fuck back. Reserve that energy and maybe use that sacral energy on other things. There's other ways to be creative other than sexual energy. So
like getting in a coloring book.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
That's just an example. That's something that you can do. You can also, yeah, you can also go to like a paint and sip. That's very artistic. It's something that's fun. It's also very elegant. You can make it a date night. Me personally, there's things that I always say like, oh, I want to learn how to do this. Go on Groupon and book a goddamn class. You want to learn how to do pottery? Just take a class. You want to go to a museum? You want to like invite more like art and literature into your life. Invite more fun. Go to a goddamn amusement park. Take yourself to Disneyland, child. I don't know. Go to the spa. Do something that feels good to you. It's going to look different for everybody. You know what I mean? Some people don't care about art. Some people don't care about music. So they may do it in a different way. They may just buy themselves some shoes. It may be retail therapy. It means you're indulging in the things that you typically don't do every day. So it feels like it's a treat.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to, my daughter's texting me. Okay. I love those answers.
Then we have the root chakra.
The root.
The root. That's your foundation. It's in your feet. That's your stability. That's your money. That's your job. That's your security. That's your safety. The root chakra also rules like our material environment, right? So when our root chakra is blocked, sometimes jobs or opportunities might fall through, or we have a hard time sticking around at jobs. We might get flighty, and it's because we don't feel secure or safe in certain environments. And the root chakra also rules that fight or flight energy. When it's activated, you might be a little hostile. You might be ready to fight all the time. Or you might be somebody who can only see what's in front of you. You're a little too grounded, right? You have a hard time imagining possibilities or manifesting. You have a hard time tapping in here into that emotional space because you're only worried about work, and all the tangible things and the assets and being busy, toxic productivity, things like that. So that would
productivity.
Yeah, that's when you're busy just for the sake of being busy, so that you're distracted and you don't have to sit with yourself. That's very toxic.
I don't like you no more.
I know. We love each other.
You really just said, like, is that what I'm doing? I'm really always busy.
I do it too. I told you about my calendar. So
I don't really think that I'm trying to escape from anything, though. I really enjoy my life a little bit.
It's okay. There's two types, right? There's also toxic productivity that's rooted in people who find confidence or self-esteem based on achievements. Where you are the marathon runner, you feel like you have to achieve a million things in your lifespan. It's like, bro,
relax.
You can breathe. Relax. Okay. You're doing great. And these people typically, they fail to really relish in their small achievements because they're looking for that big win. They're chasing like the big moment. I was just talking to a client literally before we got on this call, and I compared it to like the Academy Awards. Every actor in their career is looking for their big moment when they get Best Actors Award. That's what everybody wants. They're probably missing the fulfillment and the enjoyment if they're not rooted in the present. When they get Best Supporting Actress, Best Comedic Actress, getting Emmys, other types of awards that you can achieve, or just even getting placed, even getting auditioned, like you have to start somewhere, and it's important to, really enjoy the journey and not just be focused on chasing that big win. So we, when we look at ourselves, sometimes we can get lost in productivity because we're looking for that big win and we miss the enjoyment of the journey. We're missing time to celebrate some of our wins. And we also are running ourselves low, without having balance in our life because we're so worried about accomplishments and achievements that sometimes other areas in our lives may suffer.
I was asking a friend the other day or a while ago, I was like, yo, have you ever won a championship? He was like, what you mean? I was like, what is the moment in your life where you was like, I made it, like I did it, I've achieved the highest level, like this today is about me. I've had several of those moments. I've had several of those moments. One of those moments was watching my daughter graduate from college. That was a huge moment for me, bro. Like I can honestly say today, away separate from that statement in itself, if I was to pass today, I lived a really great life. I'm happy. I'm happy. Like I don't really chase much. I am busy because I just have a bunch of businesses and I am a do it yourself type of guy. I don't know what that's about. That's a whole different conversation. But I don't really think I'm chasing another accomplishment. Oh wait, am I losing you? Do you have to go soon? What time do you leave?
I do have to go soon, but I'm here. I'm present in what you're saying. But
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you find that you have to earn your keep? Like you have to earn your value or your space in life? Meaning, like working hard is, and there's nothing wrong with working hard. We should work hard for everything that we get. Just
Mhm.
saying. But overproduction is a requirement in order to achieve success, because success is not meant to be handed to you and it's not meant to be given to you with ease. So you're like making sure that you're earning your keep. I have found this pattern in some of my clients when maybe in childhood, and this doesn't have to be you, but just an example, maybe in childhood, they had to achieve or overachieve in order to get love or displays of love, right? In order to get shown a certain degree of affection, they had to do something to earn it. They were earning their keep in their childhood, whether it was like good grades. They had to be the best on the football team, the best on the basketball team. Like you had to overachieve and be better than everyone else in order to get the type of maybe love and admiration that most kids just get just because their parents love them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But maybe they had a tougher parent that believed in the tough love, and they only showed them that type of admiration and affection when they did something really good or really special. So I do find that sometimes it'll manifest in our adulthood as things like, earning our keep, because that's how we've always been, where we're constantly having to make sure that we're earning the admiration, the love, the credit, right, that we find that we deserve. So that's just something to think about. Maybe ask yourself that offline.
Now,
I don't know.
I don't necessarily believe that I have that. I've always just been a hustler. My mother said that when I was young, I used to
Love it.
trade my Tonka truck toys for two GI Joes, and I would come home with two GI Joes. And I'm a really big at math. I'm good at math, so I think
Mhm.
that's just how I operate, and it's about purpose for me. I think it is about
Yeah.
purpose. I enjoy my brand, my content, where I stand in the world, who I am. I enjoy making people happy. I enjoy feeling complete. It's just something that just makes me happy. It's just um, I like the outcome of dope shit, of doing dope shit. I like being a dope person, and I think
Mhm.
that I've achieved that. So I don't really think I'm chasing. I don't think I have to, you know.
That's good. And if you feel like you're not chasing anything, I think that that's all that matters. Because your intention is in the right space.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about being who I am today. I'm not
Okay.
really trying to become anything. I'm about being who I am today. How much more time do I have of yours?
I'll give you 10 more.
Okay, very quickly. What is hoodoo, and why
Yes.
are you the hoodoo baddie? Very quickly.
Yeah. So, and again, like I said yesterday, I'm not gonna use like big filling words. I want people to understand, and leave with understanding. It's not about showing off what I know. It's about people understanding. So, hoodoo is, a form of, African American. Let's start there. It's definitely close practice. It's not open to everybody, and that's not a dig or disrespect. It is what it is. It's something that our ancestors created in the deep south, when they were not allowed to practice what they came here with, right? So traditional African religion, right? Um, the slave masters made sure that we couldn't do shit. We couldn't read, we couldn't write, we couldn't do a goddamn thing. But you better believe you were forced to go to church. So here you have your language taken from you and your religion taken from you, but you know that certain things work, right? Your old ways of medicine, your old ways of manifesting, your old ways of healing, right? Your old ways of protection. These things work. And how do we do that in secrecy? How do we do that? We might have to blend it with Catholicism or Christianity, right? So there's definitely going to be scriptures that are involved, right? Implementing the book of Psalms and using them to manifest and for what it is you desire. New ways of creating medicine, right? When you didn't have any money, back then, and you had minimal resources, you had to go in the field and you figured it out. I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to take some of that. And I'm going to conjure or bring life, right? I'm going to awaken these dead roots, these dead plants, and I'm going to make it into something new. I'm going to wake it up and put new intention into it. And I'm going to create medicine to heal my family. That's what Hoodoo's about. It's about honoring your ancestors. It's about, honoring your bloodline and keeping the energy and the spirit of them alive, and while also doing that, keeping your relationship and connection with God. A lot of people have a misconception and they think that people who practice hoodoo, they don't believe in God, and that's not the case. Most of them come from the church, you know what I mean? So it's about meshing a lot of these things together. And it is rooted in our traditional religions that came from parts of West Africa.
How do you practice hoodoo yourself?
How do I practice hoodoo? Um, Healing, whether it's skincare, right? And helping people get healthy skin. It might be, and I can't say too much because again, it's close practice. It might be creating oils and things that are meant to activate certain things. It might be an oil that's meant to yield more money, attract more money. It might be getting in the bathtub and cleansing my temple, right? But also cleansing my energy at the same time to get rid of maybe somebody else's energy or energy that's being sent my way that I don't wish to keep. It's writing things down that I want to see happen in my 3D material world on a brown paper bag that I tore and reused. You know what I mean? Hoodoo's definitely about reusing and repurposing things. Taking dead roots and plants and dried herbs and making my own medicine and tinctures. I have a gallon of Florida water that's ready to be jarred and bottled right now. So it's a lot of herbal medicine. It's a lot of homeopathy. It's a lot of repurposing, and it's a lot of using what you got to get the results that you want. There's no and that's the beautiful thing. There's no like handbook of how to do these things. This is ancestral, right? It's through the bloodline. So either you're taught, or if you are in the bloodline, these things might just be something that you're naturally gravitating towards. We have a lot of botanists out there who are from the bloodline. We have, people who make homemade fragrances that are part of the bloodline. We have people that make, homemade tea blends, holistic medicine, things like that. That's where it starts from.
That is really dope. I'm going to do some research on that. I'm going to
I
do some
think you
research.
should.
And
I think you
if you have any literature or anything like that, not that I'm really great at reading, but at least I can put it in the description for everybody else. I, I celebrate Kwanzaa. Would Kwanzaa be a part of Hoodoo?
No. But here's the thing with Hoodoo, you can subscribe to any religion or any other practices that you wish to. Like there's people who are Hoodoo and they're Catholic because they're in like Louisiana. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Black people in Louisiana are Catholic or they're Christian. You can celebrate all the things. You know what I mean? Hoodoo's not necessarily a religion. I think that that's another thing that we should have more dialogue about just in the community. You can celebrate anything and it will not be Hoodoo. Hoodoo is the act of the folk magic, right? The creation and the manifestation of the medicine, of the conjure, of manifesting money that you know you wouldn't have made otherwise. You know what I mean? Manifesting opportunities, and also keeping the bullshit out your household, protecting, right? Doing what the police won't do. Okay. When the police won't do it, you call folks like me and I'm gonna get it done. When the court case ain't looking like it's gonna go in your favor, you call Alexis Jade, honey. Yeah. So that's what Hoodoo is.
Can we be friends again?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I need a Hoodoo Baddie on my side. Doing the thing for me and mine.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, you gotta take whatever help you can get out here. I feel like my time is up, but I have 2 questions left to ask. And it's the name of the show. This is the Hardorsoft Show, where we talk about things that make us hard and the things that make us soft. I would like to ask you the hard things you like in the bedroom, things that make you hard. Did you hear me? Are you thinking?
What makes me hard? I will defend those that I love, and I'll defend anything that I think that needs to be justified or rectified till death. Right? I think I consider myself a very honorable woman. So when it comes to the people that I love and that I care about, and just the overall betterment of the collective, right? The good for all, I go hard. I go real hard. I mean, I have some very passionate and strong beliefs. And one thing about me is I'm very action oriented. I don't just talk, I do. And you know, another thing that would make me hard is I don't look like what I've been through. I have never folded. All the shit that I've gone through, and you know, I'll be 33 on Sunday. I'm fairly young, you know what I mean? I've gone through a lot of things where a lot of people would have folded and they would have buckled. And I find that I used every opportunity to strengthen myself and to turn into my power so that I can be an example to somebody else and I can use it to help somebody else. You know what I mean? I've never been in my ego where I think I'm the only one with problems and I'm the only one that has this going on. No, turn your pain into your power. Stand the fuck up and keep going. And guess what? You will one day have the opportunity where you're going to be able to use this story and help somebody else and give them the advantage that maybe you didn't have because you didn't have nobody in your corner telling you what to do or how to move. So I think that that makes me very hard because, you know, I've gone through shit that should have made me soft. And I said 10 toes down.
That was fire.
Thank you.
That was really dope. I was talking about sex though.
Oh. Oh my God. And you want to stop?
I couldn't stop it. You was on a roll. You was like, it was self-empowerment. It was like, yo, you was talking about like, yo, I don't look what I've been through. What am I supposed to do? Let you finish.
I'm literally gonna get you. Like
No, don't get me, please.
I'm gonna be outside your fucking doorstep. I'm gonna be at the foot of your fucking bed in a black cloak, looking crazy as hell, and I'm gonna get your ass because why would you do that?
That reminds me of this sex scene in Scream. Did you see the sex scene? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Where like the girl was having sex with the ghost. That was
Yeah.
that might have been the best sex scene I've seen in a long time. At that time.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you dialed back because I'm like,
He
I
was
bet.
knocking her shit back. She was in love with the ghost.
Yeah.
He fucked her shit up. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking you. Something,
Okay.
action, something a person can do in the bedroom that will
It's
make
not in the
you
bedroom.
okay.
It's in the mirror.
Hey.
I want to see it. I want to see your face. I want to see my face. I want to see my body. I want to see your body. And I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk me through it. And I want you to tell me I'm not going to leave you. Not me telling you the rundown how it happened, honey. But yeah, like I want you to tell me all the things, like yeah, like words of affirmations and grab me by my neck, you know. So it's deep impact.
Are you like a rough? Are you?
Yes, and passionate too. We can go either way. Yeah.
How rough okay, we gotta do another episode.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 9.5, because let's not get too crazy.
Whelps?
Yeah.
Bruises?
No.
You kind of light skin.
Exactly.
So bruising doesn't
No, that's not cute. I don't like that. No bruises.
Do you feel the whelps the next day? Like, ooh. Or is it more like
Yeah. Okay, so maybe not whelps, maybe like slapping.
So slapping is fire.
Slapping and like bondage.
You're into bondage?
Yes, and bondage.
There is I'm gonna show you something. I don't know if I'm gonna.
I am.
I'm gonna send it to your. I'm gonna send it to your phone. I want you to see it.
All that leash.
Yes, a leash. You would do the walk around the crib. Hello. You would let somebody walk you around
for somebody I love, not just anybody. Huh?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Look, I'm sending you a picture. And this was shared openly. So and sent to me openly, right?
This on
would Discord? You do this?
Where is this on? Oh no, this is Discord.
Yeah. This was actually a live. This was actually a live scene in our Discord. This was a live scene.
Lying.
Yeah. We do wild stuff in there.
Oh, how's she doing? She having a good day?
Great. She's having the time of her life. And the thing is that so what we're seeing, describe what you're seeing here.
So she's in the bed and she's laying on her back and she's tied to the bed frame. And then her legs are okay. So, ladies, when you get your wax, she's butterflied.
Mm-hmm.
Her legs are butterflied, open. And then her ankles are strapped together, but somehow they have a wand. If you know what that device is, it's enclosed in the ankle strapping so that it's pointed up towards her clitoris. And she looks like she's having a great time. I mean, the pillow is like disheveled. She has on white lingerie.
Now, look, if you look a little deeper, there's also rope, right? Tied around the ankles, right? And it is also tied across. So the rope goes from the ankles up above her, over the bed frame, through a loop to the bed frame, and is also attached to her arms. So now if she pulls her arm forward, the vibrator goes up more. She cannot
it's like
move.
A pulley, like
So she has to actually be super relaxed. She has to give up. She cannot react or it gets worse.
She cannot react.
Like, yo, when I tell you we have some tacticians in our group, but would you be open to that?
Open to doing what? Doing it?
Yes.
No, honey. No. So I don't perform for the public.
No, not for you. Not for us. Like in your personal room and with you and your
Oh yeah,
partner.
because I thought
Would
she was
you?
on some other type of time. I'm like, listen, look,
No, no. I'm
this
not.
ain't
I'm
that.
not. No,
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 no.
no. But so here, okay, this is my rule, right? The more comfortable a man
Mm,
can make me,
yeah, yeah,
the allowance gets bigger,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So the person that the nice guy that I mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
yes. Somebody I just maybe let's say I met someone new
yeah.
3 months
No,
ago.
you
No,
ain't gonna wow me out like that,
you feel
right?
me? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the level of trust and intimacy has to already be there. It's not like you
I love.
know, you just jumping in
Yeah.
and we're pulling out all the toys and you
Probably not
going to
even
your
that
next place.
healthy. Yeah, that's probably not
Yeah,
even that healthy to just be that type of person. Just give yourself up that much to just anybody. Like you got,
correct.
yeah, you got to
And I will say
rationalize
this too.
yourself.
It has nothing to do with commitment. It's not about being like in a committed relationship because some people are like, oh, why do things like in a relationship versus when I'm single? It's not
Mhm,
really that. It's more so because not to me, not every relationship has the same level or degree of intimacy too.
mhm, mhm.
So it literally has to do with the person. So I'm gonna say for that particular person mentioned, yes, sign me
Yeah.
up. And I know you watching this. Now I'm gonna send you the picture. But anybody else? No, we ain't on that type of
Um.
timing yet.
Well.
You know. Yeah.
Um. Before you send it, let me make sure I have permission for you to send it to
Oh
somebody
yes,
else.
yes, yes. Of
But
course. HIPAA.
but I
Of
will
course.
ask. I'm pretty sure they'll be okay with it. But let me ask.
Okay.
But
And tell her I think that she's very talented. Wow.
yeah. Well, there's both of them. The person that did it and the person that went through it. They're both very talented. But yes,
Yeah.
I have to get you out of here. I need one more thing. The soft things
Yes.
you don't like in the bedroom, things that
Okay.
make you soft,
Uh,
things that make you dry, things that's like, yo, why would you ever
things I
do that?
don't like.
I remember when
Um.
we first started, it was reverse
Okay, hold
cowgirl.
on. Let me think of a good one.
Did you hear me? What I said?
Mm,
Hello?
I'm trying to think.
I said when we
Something I
first started the
really
show,
don't like.
can you hear me?
Um.
I feel like I can't. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
When we first started the show, one of the examples I gave
Yeah.
was reverse cowgirl.
Oh.
It was just like
Mm,
you're bouncing. There's
no.
nowhere for me to grab. It's just like I'm just here. You're just going crazy. I'm just looking at your back. There's no eye contact. What am I doing? Your feet are dirty. It's
Oh, okay.
like something like that. Like
Oh,
something
yeah,
like,
no. No, 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 no. You yeah, you said it. And I'm so weird. Yes, I unfortunately I do pay attention to detail. Things like uh feet being like dirty or
not manicured, not pedicured.
yeah, like weird things like that. Like the details, it'll instantly I'm like over it. You know what I mean?
That
So
is
there's
true.
that. That's one thing. One thing. The other thing I'm gonna say is poor rhythm. Like
Mm.
you like the actual like synergy is off. Like you don't
Mm.
get my rhythm, I don't get yours, and it's so forced. Like it's I don't what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then too excited to the point where it's like, okay, is this your first time? What we doing? Like I understand I'm an experience. I know I look
Oh
good.
my
Like,
God.
you're acting like you're 12 years old and you've never seen a woman before. Are you okay? Like a little too like it kind of
Been
makes me feel like I don't know if we should be doing this. Are you okay? You know what I mean? Like
been there.
certain things, certain behaviors, I think is what will really make me like get the ick for
I
real.
hate giving low vibrational dick. I hate it.
Please.
I have definitely, for whatever reason, not felt confident,
Okay.
had too much anxiety. I feel like those things happen when you feel like you like the person more than they like you, or just
Mm,
like you're just like it's just off. Like some here damn pussy. Like when somebody gives you some here damn pussy, it's never gonna be like a great experience because she doesn't even really want to be there. She's just like, I'm here, take it. You
yeah.
want the pussy so bad here, just take some pussy. Like, damn.
Right. Right.
And
No,
that's
literally.
never gonna be a great alignment connection. I'm never going to be able to be the person who I'm supposed to be because I feel like in the bedroom I'm supposed to take on this. My crown chakra has to be aligned with my third eye chakra, which has to be
I'm
aligned with all of the chakras have to be aligned
yes.
for me to
Absolutely.
give the great dick chakra.
There you go. No, it's true.
It,
And it is a mind thing, like you said, because women too, like if your head isn't like, oh, how do I look? Like, girl, obviously he's attracted to you. His body is telling you, like, you good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been through that too, where like I was like too much in my head or like
Mhm.
just worried about the wrong shit. And the experience
Low
was not as
vibrational pussy. You tried to give up some low vibrational pussy. You did.
shame on
And that's
me.
okay. And look, at least we
Yeah.
both know that we've been there. We're able to admit that. A lot of people are not able to admit that. A lot of people are not able to admit that.
Literally. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like you've had situations where your mind was somewhere else, or you know, even like you might see something on the person. Like I've even seen like a tattoo and I was like, I don't like that. Like, like, oh, I didn't know you had that tattoo right there. That's kind of weird. I don't really like that tattoo. Like it's just certain things where I might see and I'm like, damn, like I wish I would have saw that, or I wish I would have known that. Or I might walk into, their bedroom and it is good. Like it's just certain things. Like I'm more so looking at the person as a whole. It's a lot of times it's not an isolated
Mhm.
situation or incident. It could be appearance, it can be the vibe, the energy, or it can be like, damn, okay, calm down. Like now you're making me feel like you thirsty. Like it's
Yeah.
scaring me.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be
Then
blowing my phone up after I give you a little
I'm not
just a
supposed to be
hint.
giving this guy
Like
some. Yes, definitely. I
yeah,
know
like
that.
you gotta be careful. Some people are crazy.
I hate when
So
I'm much better
yeah,
at
those
sex.
are my softs.
I hate when I'm much better at sex than the person I'm having sex with, especially when it's early on, because that is I don't want to be fucking on somebody. I don't want to be like just
Mhm.
wiling them up and it's not an equal exchange. They're just like overwhelmed with what I'm doing and they don't, it's like, we shouldn't be here. So I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I agree. Um,
I know you got to go. And I am so sorry for taking up so much of your time today. You're just very interesting. You're very interesting. And
thank
I hope
you.
our listeners find you as interesting as I did today. Thank you so much, Alexis Jade. You can find her tell them they like your voice more than they like mine. Where can they find you at?
Thank
And what do you have going on?
Yeah, so you can book me at calendly.com/official Alexis Jade. Um, and then on Twitter, you can find me at Jupiter GRL underscore. Instagram is gonna be official Alexis Jade as well. And yeah, let's stay connected. Right now, my books are open for new clients and returning clients. I love you guys. I also have a Discord group. It is private, and we do make you guys sign NDAs. So sorry, we protect everybody's privacy, but we are open to new members, and it is, for the spiritual community. You don't have to be, well versed in these things if you're looking to learn, and you want a starting point. We welcome everybody. So please reach out to me if you're interested in that. Myself and my admin team, we would be happy to have you guys join and get you guys onboarded.
That is fire. That is fire. Can I join?
Yeah, of course. We'd love to have you. I was actually thinking we should interview you. That's funny. Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to. And then maybe you might join ours and we can be a little one happy family. Okay.
That I would love to. Yeah, that would be
Wonderful
great.
guy. Wonderful guy. Hey, let's get wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get wonderful. All right. You got a great one here. Sex, love, relationships, and accountability. This has been an amazing episode of the Hard or Soft Show featuring the Hoodoo Baddie, Miss Alexis Jade. Yo, you're